adventurers, welcome back to another episode. Today we're doing something fun by making some recipes out of this new book, Puncheons and Flagons. It's a D&D official cocktail book. Very excited about it. If you know anything about this channel, you'll know that I like to make mocktails for those sober adventurers who, for one reason or another, do not partake in alcohol. One of the reasons I'm super excited about this book is it has a designated mocktail section in the very back. So if you don't want to take the time to come up with some recipes of your own, or you don't want to purchase the non-alcoholic supplements, you can just make the recipes in here. So we're going to make 3 of those today, and I'm going to rate them and see if this is worth your time. So let's get started. All right, we need a heat-proof glass measuring cup. We're going to place a sprig of rosemary in here. I'm actually going to, this sprig of rosemary, I'm not going to include the stem, but we're just gonna bruise this just enough so they start to release some of those oils. We're gonna add in 2 green tea bags. I use the brand Equal Exchange. Equal Exchange is fair trade, it's organic, which means that the people who are busy harvesting your tea and putting it all together are paid fairly. And they are treated well and they get benefits. Equal Exchange, in my opinion, is a great brand if you want to shop tea ethically, because a lot of the tea trade, in my opinion, can be a form of modern day slavery. So I do not drink tea unless, or coffee. I don't really drink coffee, period, but I do not drink tea unless it is fair trade. So definitely something to look into if that is important to you. And we are going to bring this to a boil. Okay, this is 212 degrees. We're going to pour the contents in here. We're going to allow this to sit for about 30 seconds. And then we are going to pour all of this into here. We're gonna add in a tablespoon of honey and give this a stir. I had to use a skewer to get it out of the bottle because it's a very small bottle, but I'm using a peach mango honey. I feel like that will have a really, really good flavor. Yeah, so we're gonna transfer this to the fridge and let this sit for about 6 hours before we touch it. We're going to strain this into this cup. A dash of rose water. Give that a stir. I'm going to snag some pictures of this one and then let's try it. All right, let's give this a shot. It's good. The flavors are very subtle. I quite like it though. To me, I find green tea to be very grassy, but I feel like the rose water notes and the rosemary help round it out. So if you are not as huge a fan of like a really grassy, sometimes bitter green tea, this is a good way to do it. I think the honey adds a very subtle sweetness. There wasn't a lot in there. Overall, very good. I'm very happy with this. So we're moving on to our Chessentan Tea. Very excited about this. I realized that 2 of these drinks are tea-based, but that is okay. So first we need to make our jalapeno syrup. So we're going to combine half a cup of water and half a cup of sugar. And we are going to bring this to a boil. Okay, we're gonna add in our jalapenos and the seeds. Make sure everything is covered. And we are gonna let this simmer for about 3 minutes. Now that this is done on the stove, we're gonna remove this from the heat, and we are going to let this steep and cool for at least like 10 minutes. Now that it's been about 10 minutes, we're gonna strain this into this measuring cup. We're gonna bring 2 cups of water to a boil in this pot. Now that this is boiled, I've also tied these together so that they're easier to remove. I am going to let this boil for about 6 minutes. So our 6 minutes are up. And then we're going to let this cool for about 5 minutes. We're back. I have a pitcher filled about halfway with ice. We are going to pour in the brewed hibiscus tea. Ooh. We're going to add an additional 2 cups of water. Hi. You are not supposed to be up here. We're going to add in our half cup of jalapeno syrup. We're going to add in our fresh orange juice. And then we're going to add in a 1/3 cup fresh lime juice. All right. I'm just gonna... Just going to pop. So this is it. Let me take some photos and then we'll do a taste test. Photos are taken. Let's give this a try. You know, I like it. I wish there was a little more heat from the jalapeno syrup. I think that might have just been my jalapeno. I think this would be really good with a habanero. This I will be making. This I will absolutely be making again. This is super tasty. And I mean, I have to put that box of hibiscus tea to use. So, oh wow, this is tasty. This next one is the potion of restoration. This one will come together quite quickly. So, we're gonna do a cup of coconut milk. There we go. 1.25 cups of fresh lemon juice. This is a lot of lemon juice, I'm not gonna lie. And we're gonna take the honey and put it in here. And we're just gonna stir this until everything is broken up. And then the instructions are to fill a highball glass most of the way with ice. That is not too shabby, huh? All right, let's give this a taste, shall we? Wow, that's coconutty. I think honestly what I would do is I would blend this. If you don't super care about lemon juice, it could be really good with pineapple juice. In terms of the final thoughts, final review for these, I think my #1 for sure is the hibiscus. Then we've got this, I wanna say morning tea, like MOURNING. And then I think in last we've got this coconut one. I'd give this a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, and an 8 out of 10. I think this one, it'll be a crowd pleaser, but I think there was actually so much coconut. I think I would have liked, I don't know. It was a lot of coconut. I don't mind coconut, but this one I almost felt it was a little off-putting. There was so much coconut. If you love coconut, this is the one for you. I think you could also cut back on the lemon. The lemon was very strong. This one was great. I just didn't like it as much as this one. I like a little bit of spice in my drinks. So I think this one is the clear winner. Overall, I think these are great. I'm very excited to explore the other ones in this book. I think these flavors they're nice. I think just a couple of tweaks to this coconut one, it would have been a lot better. But for non-alcoholic recipes written specifically in this book, I'd give this a solid 10 out of 10 for the book. So I'm very excited to see the other recipes going forward. So that's it. So if you liked what you saw, smash that like button. If you have comments, questions, suggestions, drop those down below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell for notifications. And that's it. So adventurers, make sure to take care of yourselves. Drink some water or some tea or whatever. Do something nice for someone else, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.